Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel and to Hilltop Park, the US breeding save on Starters Order 7. I am Chris Orme, and we've got a brand new season ahead of us. We have got some exciting 4-year-olds who will be running across a variety of distances this year. We do have, if I sort them here by age, we do have High Life running at a mile. And had a pretty good season last season. Didn't quite hit the full heights that I thought we would. 2 seconds and a third. Could have been a little better, but High Life begins with the Queen's Plate out in South Africa, Kenilworth. Then at a mile 1, we're going to be trying Dragon at a mile 1. I'm running the Pegasus World Cup. I think distance-wise, going into the Triple Crown races, I kind of had Dragon, if you remember, as a mile 1. And Higgbrex was like Hig Renee was a mile, possibly a mile 2. But they were so close I decided to run them both and Violetta in all 3 Triple Crown races. And Dragon won the Derby and lost the Preakness to Hig Renee. And so at that point, I always had them penciled in the other way around. There's a mile 1 for Renee, mile 2 for Dragon. And I was seeing enough here, like the Invitational, the Travers, etc., to kind of feel like, yes, that was right. But it's kind of confirmation bias. And I feel, like I say, when you're just over 50, you could be a mile 1 or a mile 2. You could. But really, this has been more likely to be a mile 1 in my sort of experience than anything. So, up to 10%, like a small bar like this on the stamina is 5 to 6 furlongs. When you get up to 20%, then you're looking at 7 furlongs to a mile, which is 8 furlongs long. Sometimes you'll see a bar of like 25 to 30%, maybe even 35%. That's still really a miler, might be able to stretch to a mile 1, but 99% will be a mile. And then it'll jump all the way up to 55%. That is pretty much a mile 1, sometimes rarely a mile 2, which is what I thought we had with Dragon. And then it'll go up to 65%, which again could be a mile 1, but is more likely, slightly more likely to be a mile 2. When you get up to 75%, then you're definitely in a mile 6 kind of range. Anything more than that on a flat save is going to be 2 miles or more. And there aren't that many races above that. So you're never really going to see much more than a stamina bar up to about 75. And, yeah. So you can kind of, get very close to distance just by looking at the stamina bar. Now, the problem with that is sometimes it's wrong and sometimes I misread it, and I misread it with Stardrum. I misread it initially with Brazingham and Haig back in the day. I misread it with Candy Star. I misread it so many times. And that mile 2 in the Derby and not winning at a mile 1 convinced me Dragon was a mile 2 when this stamina bar screams a mile 1. So we're reverting back to what we know after not a great season at a mile 2 for Dragon. I'm going a mile 1. We're going hard. That's it. Dragon's a mile 1. If he can't win at a mile 1 this year, to be honest with you, he's no longer running. That's it. That's all there is. Because, yeah, I wanna see them win. But if Highlights at a mile, Dragons at a mile 1, that gives me a little bit of a problem. Because Haig Brex looks like a mile 2. Right, we've got our 65% stamina bar here. You can see the 50. These little notches are 25% each. Then you've got the delineations between 10% and the little bits in between 5%. We've got the graphics, which, if you want to check that out, the modding tutorial on the tutorial tips and tricks playlist that we've got going on this channel, you can find out where to get the graphics as well as the other mods, and this is one of them. It just makes these bars and these bars so much easier to read at a glance. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And Starters Orders 8, to be fair, if we've seen the screenshots, let me pull one up. Like, this is one of the screenshots that we've been shown by Mark developing Starters Orders 8. And you can see right here, all these have numerical values now. So you don't need to check. And you can see here, there's a heart with 71. A lightning bolt with 100. I'm guessing that's energy. That just might be its health. I'm not sure how that's going to play into it. And then we've got an icon of a little sprouting plant. That might just be its growth. And think of this maybe as the current ability is 35, its potential is a 63. It's full of energy, ready to run. And it's in good health. I'm not really sure how these are going to work out. We're going to have to relearn things for Starters Orders 8. But for me, the best thing is it's all set up here with numbers. We don't have to judge bars and figure things out. We can see and put an actual numerical value on everything. And I think it looks fairly clean. It looks kind of interesting to see how it's all going to go, and the headline information and everything on one page. Yeah, you can kind of just see things a little clearer. So it's vastly different for Starters Orders 8, the direction he's chosen to go in terms of the look and the appeal of the game. But I think those numerical values are definitely going to be something worth doing. But yeah, Higbrex surely could go to a mile 2. I'm testing at a mile 1. There isn't anything at a mile 2. So I'm going to throw out a little grade 1 opportunity. And I just want to see. I want to see what Higbrex can do, because they were in the breeding barn. They didn't really get much of a chance to run, but they could be really quite decent. They could be really quite decent. So they might be our mile 2 for the season. And then I've got big question marks, because we can come down to 6 furlongs for Grey Sacree. Don't know how good this horse is at all. Didn't really get to test it. Looks pretty decent. I don't know. So we're going to test them, but they could be a 6 furlong. So we got 6, a mile 1, probably a mile 2. Here Grenade started moving up towards a mile 4. Probably likes a mile 3. But there isn't that much of a mile 3. And Hague Violetta likes a mile 4, might be stepping up to a mile 6. And I don't know that either. So I think we've got a little bit of issue at the top end. So I think 6 furlong mile 1, 2, mile 3 to 4, mile 4 to 6. And that kind of covers the entire gamut with these 4-year-olds. Now, if Higbrex doesn't work out, that's fine. We just won't run them. If Grey Sacree doesn't work out, we won't run them. And if there's issues with any of the other horses, we won't run those either. But right now, I feel more confident in these 4 who have kind of proven themselves. It's just going to be a little difficult to book races. Now, there's not much at a mile. Well, over a mile, I'll say. There's not that much. So, Higbrex does get a mile 1. Dragon gets the big mile 1, and then coming down in age, Ramscoop wants a mile 1 to a mile 2 already. So as soon as that opens up for the 3-year-olds, we'll be running Ramscoop, and Boneless Orphan already has won at a mile, likes a mile, might stick at a mile. Honestly, might stick at a mile. I'm hoping they get up to at least a mile 1, which again, his mother liked a mile, his father liked a mile 2. Average those out, we come back to the mile 1. There's a chance, but I think at most we'll see a 55 stamina bar on this horse for the mile 1. This is a miler right now. So there's also nothing out really for them this early, unless we give them the Queen's Plate, but I really just want to run High Life in that one. Might be the wrong decision. And then 2-year-olds, well, I've just got an absolute butt ton of maidens. I couldn't think of the word. Maidens. I want to make sure. Gulfstream, Keeneland. Who have you got? You haven't got anyone. Okay, yeah, so make sure your jockeys are booked. Juan Hernandez is really good. Chris Landros is also really good. I think, yeah, they're very similar actually. What's that, like an 83 Honesty? Who's my go-to? Could be just Landros, but he sometimes doesn't show up. Oh. Yeah, make sure you don't remove them for race. Just unbook the jockey if you're going to do what I just did. Oh. Okay, much demure. Much demure gets Calvin. I was going to say that's fine. That's not really fine, is it? Juan Hernandez is good too. Ascend Calvin. I can't. That's why people are booked where they're booked, and I shouldn't mess around with them that much. Okay, Juan Hernandez. Juan Hernandez. Calvin. Juan Hernandez. Then I got these two. Swan Dive. Running with Landros. I got Calvin on there. Okay, so just making sure that the conflicts here, we're getting the right jockeys. But yeah, ton of maidens, basically. A mix of 5 and 6. Not really sure how that's going to work out. Yeah. I think it's a solid position to be in. So we've got some really good horses that we can't really book yet. I haven't booked anyone in the future, just this opening little bit. Breeding is quite low at the moment. And well, she's good. Probably one of the best we've got in the barn right now in terms of high potential already filled out, everything looking good. Not a lot elsewhere, but for what she is, I think pretty good. And we haven't had a ton in the way of like superstar horses from her. Then Modern Eve, again, solid horse. Not too far away from a potential. That's a solid gap. I kind of got rid of anyone that was 15, 20% away. I didn't think that was great. Some good extra speed here as well. If anything, I'd say low enthusiasm consistency would be the main kind of worries. Again, not a ton in terms of breeding. Seeker Violetta, again, just 10% away. She's, fully maxed out last year, maybe year before. Again, some extra speed. Enthusiasm's a touch low, maybe cruising burst if we're going distance, but she doesn't really produce distance. And yeah, some pretty good horses, Hague Violetta and High Life. So that's a Belmont winner and a really nice miler. So I'm kind of happy with that. Boneless Orphan is one of hers. She's got another one coming through. So happy to keep her. And of course, Plateau Brex. If she had one more run and won it, she might have made the 140 club. So I kind of count her as that one of my best 3 horses from that way. Like Hey Candy got 140 rated and probably should have won the Triple Crown. Brex won the Triple Crown and should have been 140. Stardrum probably would have, if we'd have run him, would have won the Triple Crown and was absolutely amazing. Should have been unbeaten, should have stayed 140, but was the first horse to hit 140. So, yeah, Brex is right up there for me. Again, extra speed is good with high potential. And, we got Hague Brex, who looks okay. We got Dragon as well out of Plateau Brex. So I'm pretty happy. It's kind of a slow start. There isn't that much in the barn I want to breed with. There's 3 or 4 just gone in. Stuff like Slip Class could be interesting, to be honest. There's like 4 5-year-olds in there. And we're currently breeding with Relentless Holmes, just someone we didn't breed with last time. So, yeah, we could add a bunch of these over the season into the breeding barn. And that's maybe what we end up doing. But for now, we're going to start with some maidens. So, Tidal Force. That's a win. A little 5 furlongs, soft tracking at Santa Anita, not what it likes. The acceleration just, like, to me, screamed 5 furlongs. I'm glad I was kind of right about that. Again, good extra speed, if we can fill out a little bit there. And at this point, you can see just, like, the quality in this horse. So we got all the horses we look for. Mondashane, Call to Arms, Push Me, Island Melody, Portrait Gallery, even Latour, Officer Lily, Eve's Era, Bertarella, Krabbies, Galette Tourist was fun, Substance Small, Ingleby Star, Seeker Violetta, Storming Winter. That gives us High Life. And on the other side, Guns and Butler we do like. That gives us Solar Quest, and that gives us Nod Forms, which turns out to be a good racer and a good breeder. And that puts us in a very, very solid place. So I'm quite happy with that. I think that's pretty decent. So we get our maiden win, 3 1/4. That's not bad at all. Good jockey feedback. So 1 of 1, much demure. We gain it again. Again, really high acceleration. Could have gone for 5. But the distance, a few things. Horse is a star. Just got up, just short-headed. We were very laid back. There's a chance we might be a 5. Interesting. Yeah, not a ton of potential this year, but if we fill this out, we can get a nice jump for a 3-year-old season. I don't mind this horse. I do worry about distance for Triple Crown, but that's fine. And again, Nod Forms in this. And then we got Safari Team. an Eve's error in here on that side of the breeding. So pretty decent. Okay, 2 from 2. Oh, multiple runs on the same day. Oh, you idiot. Oh, you idiot. I don't know why I thought the first 2 were just going to be maidens, because I know the 6 I was doing extra bits, right, to try and get things working. Yeah. Okay, well, High Life wins the Queen's Plate perfectly. Love that. Big jump as well there. Retains a 124. And Haig Brex, I mean, jumps up to 100. Doesn't look too bad. 3/4 of a length back. Blue triangle. Beginning to pick up at the end. Okay, yeah, so Haig Brex is a mile 2. So that would give us a mile 1, a mile 2, and then anywhere from a mile 3 to a mile 6 covered between these two. That kind of gives us something to work on, something to figure out at least. But if this is a mile 2 and Dragon is a mile 1, like I say, we are kind of covered. So 6 furlongs a mile 1, a mile 2. I think we've got grade 1 winning potential at all 4. And then it's Haig Renee and Haig Violetta. What do we do there at a mile 3, a mile 4, and maybe a mile 6? The odd mile 6 will go to Violetta. The odd mile 3 will go to Haig Renee. Split the mile 4s. Maybe that works. Maybe that works. But yeah, second isn't bad at all. I gotta say, I'm kind of pleased being off distance and everything else. I think that's a solid result. So, my bad for skipping, but we're okay. We're 3 or 4 in the season then. A second and 3 wins. And that's going to bring us to this distant land called Maidens once again. Swan Dive and Demolition Damage. I don't like the fact that stayed at 3. So 5 furlongs better for run. God damn it, you ran green. Trip suit did perfectly again. Super high acceleration. Ran green, stayed on same pace. Could move to 6. This one needs to run well, needs to improve potential. Otherwise, if we don't max out, we're never going to win anything at 3-year-old, and I might as well get rid of the horse. And again, I hate that because Nod Forms is pretty much in everything but Safari Team, 5e Modern. I like the makeup of the horse. Swan Dive, not much room, so we kind of got blocked off towards the end and only ended up a length back. We are also very laid back here, so that could have cost us. Trip suited perfectly. Yeah, I think 5 furlongs somewhere on the 16th will work for both of them. We'll book the double header on the 17th to clear up those issues. Maybe Swan Dive then wins at 5. We probably still run green. If we don't, maybe distance is off for Demolition Damage. Promise Princess, 3 of 7. Okay. Oh, I meant to put you at 6. Yeah, not much room in the final furlong. 1.4 back. I'm going to try at 6. Again, somewhere around here. 18th works for me. Give me Pastel Pure. Give me the breeding as well. Relentless Holmes is... I know he's got 4 grade 1 wins. I know he's just off the first page if I saw it that way. So that's how I'm going to be doing that. Sweet King Braze, please. Sweet King Braze. 6 furlongs, a very muddy track. He does love a slow track. Didn't look like much. Not much room again. Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's also an interesting one. Cheeky grade 3? No, let's do maidens. Let's do maidens. Let's do maidens. 5 furlong, 6 furlong, 6 furlongs. Okay. Pastel Pure wins by 6. It's got Hair Candy, which brings in a lot of my favorite game breds here. And on this side, it's got Eve's Era and Mondo Chain into Krabbies. So the only thing it really doesn't have is an Ingleby Star in here, which would have been nice. And then we could breed Pastel Pure with Nod forms and get that side of the bloodline in, maybe. So solid. Solid. Yeah. There's no group races. At 6 is a 5. So I guess Tidal Force can go and run that. Gonna put us in an okay place. Star the course, not stay the course. Okay. 8 grade 1 wins. Definitely some distance issues. Not today. Okay. So Swan Dive comes back, wins by 5.5. Nice. Nice. Great recovery. And yeah, this one would run green. We stay at 5. We'd win by 5. Great. Okay. That's awesome. Promise Princess wins. We had a couple just blocked off. I think that seems to be the big thing. Yeah, 6 lengths on Promise Princess. Sweet King Braze. Another win. Everything good. Not as big a win, but okay. Yeah, so a few of them need a little helping hand here and again, but like I said, we got so much breeding now. We got so many like levels to our lineage. We're starting to get these really good horses. We need to just do what we need to do. So yeah, Tidal Force, Much Demure, Pastel Pure, they all win their initials. Promise Princess moves from 5 to 6. And then Swan Dive, Sweet King Braze, and Demolition Damage all stay at their distances and win a second maiden. 3 got blocked off of the 4. 1 was a poor run, and 1 that got blocked off was also running inexperienced, I believe. So we ran green. So that all makes sense. That's all pretty dang impressive for me. I kind of like that. I do kind of like Island Melody. I like. What have you sired? Franco and Whiplash or Wild Splash. Okay, so you're not anything. You want a handicap, you came second in a just a game. Yeah. No. Nope. Okay. That's gonna give us Dragon. Here we go then. The Pegasus World Cup. Crackerjack Francais. We know. You're killing. We know. Pretty good horse, that one. Omnia. Squall. We know. Couple of the good horses. As far as like great horses, I don't really feel there's much in here. I'd say Your Killing is a horse I really like. Antonius Dances, I don't know, but looks like in good form. Yeah, we know four, three of which I think we beat normally quite often. I don't think we should be outraced by them. Your Killing kind of worries me, but form-wise, it's just never really got up and won much. So if Dragon is a mile one, I think we win. I think we win. So, I believe where are we? Gulfstream in Florida for the 1 mile 1 furlong Pegasus World Cup Class 1 Grade 1 race for 4-year-olds upon the dirt track. Big money, big prestige. The first big race in the American calendar. Winners of this will go normally to Dubai and to Saudi to race there for big prizes too. 1 mile 1 furlong. We're off okay. Luque and Sizzler up at the front with us. Back to Omnenia. Hallow Doll. Oh, we know Hallow Doll as well. Not a great horse, though. Brusellini Banker. Crucius Georges. Palavinci Smudge. Custard. Chancer. Anatonia's Dances. Then inside to Anananda Squall. Crackjack Francais and Your Killing. Way back at the rear. They are closers. They will come for this. We're down now to the final 1.5. Your Killing has pulled up with injury. I think that's the best horse in the field if it isn't us. Final furlong, the home stretch. It looks like we're holding over Custard Chancer. Final half of furlong. Crackerjack Francais coming in from deep. Won't get up into first. Won't get second. Might get third. I think they just about got the head forward on the line. But Dragon wins. Dragon wins cleanly, clearly, and easily, with Calvin Burrell standing up in the stirrups to salute the crowd as he crosses the line once again. Would Your Killing have done anything? I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like that was a pretty good run. Custard Chancer, a good horse. 5 3/4 clear of Crackerjack Francais. But we went ahead and dominated this race. That gives me a lot of confidence. That's the first big one of the season. That's our first big one of the season. Love that. Absolutely love that for us. Ooh. Haven't seen my mule for a while. There's possibly too much to ignore, but then again, there's nothing on this side. Is there going to be anything in this bloodline? Is there going to be anything in this bloodline? Can't breed from him anyway. Okay, well, sure. Carrick Boy is there. Nothing else. Nothing at auctions. Frontless Homes. Got our 4 breeding done early. That's going to take us into February. So now we got to go and book a bunch of races here. Let me just save. Okay, so see what else we can book them for people. 1 mile 1. The only thing that's going to come to mind here is going to be the Saudi Cup. Jabal Hatter as well. Okay. Mile 2. Just trying to think, is there going to be much here? Maktoum Challenge Race 3. Nagi Motors Cup. Sort of mile 3. Yeah, absolutely nothing. Okay. Mile 4, there's grade 2. Mile 6 is a grade 3. Bum bum bum. So I think I can go Al Maktoum Challenge Race 3 with Brex. And then I can go Nagimoto's Cup with Renee. Maybe Don't Trail Challenge earlier for the extra distance. Maybe. I don't know if Violetta gets down that far, even though Violetta's got the adaptation. I think Violetta's going to run a lot sort of second and third quarters of the year. So them not running early doesn't worry me. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of roughly what we should be looking at. The little February for High Life. I don't mind that. That's a pretty interesting shout. And then we got the Kill Roar, because that's also 4 years and above. So that's not going to be anything I can run.
with Boneless Orphan. So that's fine. And if we come down to 6, and then full send the Saudia Sprint, these are tough races. Like, these are going to be really tough races to go through. But that's what it's about, and that's kind of where we're at. Boneless Orphan, the grade 3, the grade 2 San Vicente, and the Carlos. Yeah. Not much at 7 furlong. And a mile, there's just a bunch of 2s and 3s as well. And the 1-1s are not really what we want to do. But I think we can run. We can run. Whether I want to run a grade 2 there, I don't know. This is for 4-year-olds and above, right? Yeah, so that's why I've got the wrong person selected. That makes more sense. Yeah, little grade 3. Don't want to do that. Couple of grade 3s. Don't really want to do that. Isn't Star grade 2? I mean, it's not the best in the world, but we can run it. We can also run Boundless Orphan in a grade 2. There are some mile 110 yards I could possibly run round Scoop in. So we could get a couple of runs early. I don't think that's the end of the world. Demure at 6, Pastel Pure at 6. There is nothing, there's only this 5 here. Okay, so the 2-year-olds we'll have to come back to. Violetta we'll find later. Couple of grade 2 for our 3-year-olds. Tidal Force gets the first chance at a grade 3 for the 2-year-olds. And then a tough trip to Japan for High Life, but I think the quality's there to do it. Gray's going to run the Saudi Sprint, and that's going to really prove whether or not this horse is worth running in the Everest. Hey Grenade can run the mile to 110 yards. Dragon's going to run the 1 mile 1 furlong Saudi Cup, the big race of the meet. And then later on, Hig Brex can run the challenge race number 3. I think that makes sense. And we're all done with breeding, and we're in a solid place. Yeah, so I think, Gray, we'll see what they do. They can always go into the breeding barn. If Brex just doesn't seem even close, then I'd be surprised, but they could go into the breeding barn. If High Life or Renee falls off, we can put those in the breeding barn. If any of these 2-year-olds don't look like they're going to do anything and won't have a jump as a 3-year-old, they can go into the breeding barn. So we've got options. So the 15 horses, I think we got 10 females and 5 colts. We got 2 4-year-olds and 3 2-year-old colts. So a bunch of fillies that can race, but also could just be on the barn. So does give us a bit of a chance. Classical Mist hasn't foaled anything. No Solo Mio has foaled. Some grade 2s. 2 grade 2s, 2 grade 2s, 1 grade 2 not close, single grade 1 close to having 2. Oh. Okay. El Mansour. El Mansour. Yeah, the distance makes this intriguing. It's a 3-year-old that hasn't won, but it's been basically run at 6 furlongs, which just can't suit it. 100% can't suit it. Then it's gone into a handicap race, which is always difficult to judge, up to a mile. Breeding indicator says 1.6. The dam, I think, said like 1.5. Because we're at the auction, might as well get a quick little look at the 3-year-old filly, who's run third, fourth, and third. It ain't going to cost us much for the pair. Yeah, so she's a mile 1 to a mile 2. She's never been run at that level. Lineage isn't much. Horse isn't really much either. And Plitbro looks like a mile 1 right now. And has the potential to be going up even higher. I like El Mansour in the bloodline, but it's too watered down. Okay. I think worth a look, worth a try. I will put that out there and say, yeah, maybe not the best, but definitely for me, worth a try. Yeah, we're not splitting the jockeys. That's good. Tidal Force. A little grade 3 for our 2-year-olds. One horse a little wound up. One looks a touch lazy. Don't know the field. Nobody's really run. So we're going to get into this. 5 furlong, Class 1, Grade 3. Here, I believe, at Albuquerque, New Mexico. 2-year-olds on dirt. A maiden winner in Tidal Force. An unraced class thereafter. And our first chance to see one of our 2-year-olds run. And like I say, possibly win the first grade for the class. We beat Tattle at the front. Kate this O'Hara. And then back to Demure Guy Volante Sauce. Oh, and us. Captor Sunday has dropped off. Solid Extra. Volante Secret. They are up into this. Hawthorne's Salid. Whipper Number and Demure Guy right at the back. We beat Tattle. Volante falling off. Solid Extra. Doesn't have any extra. Falls back. A solid 2 to 3 length win here. And the first grade 3 for the 2-year-olds. Tidal Force, impressive in a maiden. And equally impressive here. 3.5 length winner. Very nice. 5 furlongs, 101 rated, got a grade 3. Not really gained any potential, which is kind of annoying, sadly. But a good run, a good win. And it's nice to get those grades and that rating up early. Like I say, if you can get to about 105, well, 100 really, but a 105, then that puts you in the conversation for the Triple Crown races. So with a prep race, you got a chance if you win it then to get a bunch more rating, like another 5. Jump you up to the 105, 110 range, and you're almost guaranteed a spot then. So, yeah, we're just getting good runs, good ratings, getting grades. And yeah, I don't feel we need to test that horse very much more. If it jumps, we will. My issue with it, it's had 2 runs. It's won twice fairly comfortably. It's won well. It's got a lot of extra speed. It could, get 81 ability this season and then jump to over 90% for a 3-year-old season. That would be kind of the pace you need for Triple Crown racing. It's just maybe never going to have the distance for it. So we could be looking at another absolutely crazy miler to run. And I don't mind that. I'm starting to kind of enjoy that again. I did go through a period of really enjoying sprint racing. And then I kind of went up to a mile and I loved like how many good milers there are out there. Like good mile races around the world. I think there's some really quality races to win. And then I've gone back to really focusing on Triple Crown because that's kind of be all end all for me. So, yeah, not a bad run. Not a bad run. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Absolutely fine. And yeah, move on a few days. And a very interesting one here, Boneless Orphan. And then in a week's time, Ram Scoop. Couple of grade 2s. I don't normally like going backwards in grades, but this early in a 3-year-old season, I think anything that's going to gain you potential is huge, especially with someone like Boneless Orphan. That's like 15% to gain. It's doable, but you need to win 2 or 3 races. So if we can get a good jump off a good win or 2 in prep races, that gives us a chance to kind of max out in the Derby and maybe the Preakness. And then you could be looking at a chance in the Belmont. But again, distance, we're kind of stuck where all our good breeding stock kind of puts us at a mile to a mile 1 at the moment. Not that many good distance horses in the barn. We have bred from Brisingham and Haig, and that sort of has helped a little bit, but we need more help. So, yeah, we definitely need some distance horses in this. But the 1 mile, Las Virgins, Class 1, Grade 2 for 3-year-olds on dirt here at Santa Anita. And we're away okay. The only grey horse in the field, easy to spot. Light horse, light silks, and right to the front for Boundless Orphan. We got Erin Motts and Felicia, the sprints. Excuse me. Back to Ramma reviews. Playgirl Affair, Pendle Bonnie, Saratoga Hunting, and Mary Sienka Brownies at the rear in the blue silks. 2 to go now then. Down to the final furlong and a half on the home stretch. Here comes Erin Motts. Here comes Felicia. Here comes Playgirl. Here comes Manisenka. Here comes Pendle. It's a bit of a fight. Boundless now has been just pushed out by Felicia. Sprints. Good from Pendle. Great run from them. They get up. They get clear. They move out. We just didn't have enough. We don't jump. We didn't run well enough. A little grade 2 is always a very dodgy race to run. It's normally the field is a little bit slower, and top horses sometimes need a fast field so they can kind of perform at their best. So I'm not going to say that was good. You always want to win them, of course, but I don't think it's an indicator of that not being a good horse. I just think that grade 2s aren't going to give it anything to run. It definitely wants to compete against better horses. And yeah, I had to try. 100% had to try. Just don't feel that was the best kind of group to run against. Got a little breeding auction. 3 grade 3 winners that have only won once. A grade 2 that's won once. Not going to look too deep in the auctions. Island Melody. Again. Done Ravens, done nothing. Odin's Benefit has done nothing yet. Nothing makes me want to go and rush off to that auction. So, okay, I'm going to run Rand Scoop. I think this is another possible poor race, just a little disappointing race in that we're not going to win because we, got the same issue with the grade 2 field. We do have Tharara Freud. Freud's a decent, solid horse. We're top-rated, top-weighted, grade 1 winners, the pair of us. Pair of grade 2s, pair of grade 3s. One lazy, one wound up. Yeah, so it should be a match race between us, but it depends. There might be a little bit more pace in this one, and we are challenging earlier because we want to make up the distance that we feel we probably want the extra furlong or so. So it might be slightly better, but I wouldn't really go into this thinking I should win. For the 1 mile, 1 furlong, Risen Star, Class 1, Grade 2 for 3-year-olds on dirt. Thraphoroid is not the favourite, neither are we. The favourite is Numeral Warbler in the brown and black. Very interesting. Ourselves and Freud, far side, they're in the green against the rail, just on our outside. Warbler in line with us, near side. Official Mind goes to the front with Maybe Silence, Ivory Short, Bobbering, Profit. Then it's us. Back to Thara Freud, Azurintia, Azurintashanti, Thara Freud, no, Numeral Wobbler at the back together now. Unique Montrachet has jumped up a little. We're in solid position here, so is Freud. The two of us are going. Ivory Short is currently leading, but about to drop out. Ramscoop needs to find a little something here. Doesn't look like we've got what it takes. Bobbering Profit on the inside, just about being kept out by Ramscoop. Ferrara Freud takes this race. Ramscoop in second, slightly better, not amazing. Decent. Definitely need more of a potential jump. But yeah, I think we just have to wait for the grade 1s there. We just have to wait for the grade 1s. Nothing else really seemed like it was going to be worth it. Atlas Shrugged. Couple of horses. You've bred a grade 1 as well as win a grade 1. Nobody else has really done too much. Yeah. Interesting one. Well, Fantasy has bred a grade 3, which is this horse. Yeah. Don't think that's a hidden gem. I do not think that is a hidden gem. And there we are then. Well, that takes us to, you could say, the really tough part of the schedule, but Bonus Orphan, Ramscoop, decent runs, not improving them, but, not too bad in general. Tidal Force gets a grade 3. The other 2-year-olds, they've all got a maiden at the second time of asking. 2 more have got it at the first time of asking. And we're about to see what this 4-year-old class can do. Violetta sits out, but the rest are all here. 6 furlong, a mile 1, a mile 2, and a mile 2 and a bit. Not really sure about distances suiting a couple of the horses for sure. Brex, this is going to be a very interesting test. Renee, if we are a mile 3, we should be okay at this distance. And then it's a quality test for Grace Cree. 100% a quality test. High Life, run 1, has a good chance in this race. Dragon already won the Pegasus World Cup, so the Saudi Cup is going to be another big test. But again, I do feel we've got the quality, and it's just like, what's that field look like, and are we truly good enough for a mile 1? So I do hope you've enjoyed. I hope you hope that you're enjoying the entire journey, but also just the 4-year-olds. And we're going to see, is my gamble with Dragon at a mile 1 going to pay off? Say, I don't know what I'm doing at a mile 4 between Violetta and Renee. I don't know. The 3-year-olds, they're going to get a bit of a push. There's only 2 of them, so they can kind of get multiple prep races. But who's going to be on distance? Like, will Orphan get on distance? Do we just have to run Ram Scoop? Will Ram Scoop get any potential filled out? Will Orphan? Big questions. And then 2-year-olds, like I say, we'll race them fairly decently throughout the season, but towards the end, we're going to have to see distances and then just book for the Breeders' Cup before we end that. But any that do fall by the wayside, the breeding barn kind of does loom large. So I think we'll be okay. So let me know what you think. Comment sections down below. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the other playlists available on the channel. Crusaders King 3, Tennis Manager 25, our Jump Save, as well as this, and our Tips, Tricks, Tutorial playlist for Starters Order 7. They're all constantly being updated, new videos every single day. Most days, and at the moment, for the foreseeable past and future, 2 videos a day on the channel. So if you can check those out, please do like and share them. That does help a ton. Memberships are available. Please do check those out, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care, stay safe, all the best to you, and wish me luck. We've got a fun, but I think tricky season ahead.